I actually got kicked out of music school because I didn't do the homework. I was had my goal set to be a jazz drummer.
Yeah, you were into really like soul and jazz and everything. Yeah. And you also DJ'd like was it school disco? Playing like drum and bass and stuff?
How do you know that?
Can you describe the first show that you did as Galantis?
Coachella 2014. Yeah.
Hi, so today I'm here with Linus from Galantis.
Yay!
So you were born in Stockholm, right?
That's correct. I was born in Stockholm, but I was raised up in Sundsvall actually, which is in the middle parts of Sweden. It's actually the middle part of Sweden.
Yeah. And so what age did you move out of Stockholm?
I was 5 years old.
Wow, so you barely even remember too much, right?
Yeah, well, we went all the time down to Stockholm, and but it was kind of, you know, it's a different vibe to where we were going. We were more closer to like it's like the Swedish Alps almost.
Oh, you know? Wow. Yeah. And how would you describe yourself back then, like growing up?
Well, I think I was a handful.
Really?
Yeah. I was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So I really loved, you know, to try everything that I could try.
Mm-hmm. So you and Christian are really similar.
Really?
He said the same thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did a lot of different, like, you know, a lot of snowboarding, a lot of skateboarding, a lot of that. Played some sports and stuff, but yeah, I got into music quite early, so I think that kind of was my little safe place. You know?
You got into it, was it through your parents or?
Not really. I mean, my dad was in a choir, so I was hanging out at his rehearsals and like sleeping under the chair which he was standing on. So I got into choir music quite early.
Interesting.
But that was just I don't know if that really colored my upbringing with music. It was, I don't know how I got into it really, more than that it was a feeling of complete, you know, where time stopped, where I was in my little bedroom, just, you know, either playing drums or doing, you know, beginnings of like early tracks and stuff like that. Yeah.
And for all the like drums and other instruments, was that something that your parents gave you lessons and you asked for lessons, or?
Well, yeah, I actually got kicked out of music school because I didn't do the homework. I just wanted to play, you know, like more like rock, heavy metal type of drums when I was 11. But so my teacher didn't want that, so yeah, I got kicked out, and then it was kind of like a few years in, maybe 5-6 years later, that's when I started, you know, doing my homework. Yeah. Yeah, they let me stay in the school.
So you went to a music specialized school at a young age?
Yeah, well, it was like the high school program was music. So when I went through high school, I only did that. And
so you choose at such a young age, you already specialized.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started, this is not recommended, but I started skipping a lot of other classes just to practice. Because I wanted to become like I was actually had my goal set to be a jazz drummer. Yeah,
you were into really like soul and jazz and everything. Yeah. What about jazz did you love at that age?
I don't know, it was kind of, it went hand in hand, I thought, with what I liked. I listened to a lot of instrumental, like hip-hop stuff. They called it trip hop back then. And for
some
me,
weird down-tempo stuff.
Yeah. And I you know, I started to dig deeper and really look into where the samples came from, and it came from, you know, a lot of like Miles Davis records and all these different artists, and I really enjoyed listening to that stuff as well. So I got caught up in jazz.
Yeah. What careers were your parents in?
My mom was like a social worker, and Dad was he worked at a cultural department, and so.
For the government, or?
Yeah, for the government. Yeah.
But they've always been like super supportive of you doing music.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, we had like paper thin walls in our house, and you know, they could hear the drumming. Actually, the whole street could hear the drumming, and the first years it wasn't really that good. So the neighbors were pretty honest about that.
Pretty honest.
Yeah, it's like 4 years in, they dropped the note saying that it's finally getting a little bit better. So,
oh my gosh, that's so funny. Wow. Good. And you also DJ'd like your, was it school disco? Like drum and bass and stuff?
How do you know that?
You know.
That's true. Yeah, every third song was like, first it was Jennifer Lopez and New Kids on the Block, then you throw some real heavy drum and bass in there.
Yeah, what was the reaction?
That was just enough to not get fired, you know.
Oh, so that was your job?
Yeah.
Oh, how long were you like a school DJ?
It was actually like, we have a pretty cool setup in Sweden where there's these kind of community houses. It's kind of hard to, it sounds lame when you try to explain it, but everybody can go there, and there's always like a big disco at every every weekend. So
that
I was
sounds
playing,
kind of crazy.
Playing those parties. It was a good school because you were standing there for like 4 hours, and well, if they wouldn't dance, then you wouldn't keep the gig. So.
At what age were you doing all that?
I started when I was 15. It was the first time.
Yeah. But then, so you bought all the equipment and then you taught yourself DJing?
Actually, I didn't. I never owned the equipment. Never had a turntables I had, but I didn't have any CDJs or anything. So I borrowed that from some friends. And
so you had a group of friends that were all music people and was all interested in DJing and everything. Yeah.
We were. It was like a smaller hip hop community in the city I lived in, and we just hung out, and you know, it was kind of like a little clique thing going on. It was cool.
How did you transition from like all your, I guess, like trip hop phase to the music after that? I
feel like it's all been blending together. I remember when I got into techno, like it really got into techno, was that I heard a Plastic Man album. I don't know if you know him, Plastic Man, Richie Hardin. So I was listening to that, and I was like, maybe this 4 to the floor thing could be something for me, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's when I started making techno, and that's when Style of I was born.
And you've seen it all kind of, like, when you first started putting out music, did you use it under like a different name?
Yeah, Style of I.
Yeah, and it was just like kind of interesting because you've seen the whole like progression from like records to like streaming. Is it difficult for you to like understand, or like it's moving so quickly?
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's not I just always try to focus on making music and doing that, you know, which I'm good at, and leave the rest to the record labels and all that. So because if you stare, you know, if you look at sales and look at streaming and all that, I think it's it's interesting to see the numbers, but then it's kind of like it can take away the real fun of making music.
Right.
Yeah. It was never my main purpose to you know, sell a lot of records. But I guess that can happen if you just, you know, trust your own ears.
Yeah. What did you see in Christian that you were like, okay, we got to be in a duo?
Well, I think you said it a little bit. We share the same type of energy, and that's when you find someone like that in the studio, and it's very, very easy to have fun and to make something that you really feel is special to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love having him as a partner. Yeah.
How has the Galantis music changed from the very early tracks that you first put out?
Well, at first we stepped away from songwriting, and we really just wanted to go, you know, see what us two together would sound like on a dance floor. Yeah. And I don't know if we should even count those tracks as part of it, but they are a part of it, and it's definitely we've become more and more, you know, free in what we do, I feel, and we also have it's kind of like a platform where we know when it's a Galantis song that we're working on, you know.
Can you describe the first show that you did as Galantis?
Coachella 2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty insane,
Damn.
actually. We were very nervous and did not know what to expect. And you know, it was really 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks in from when we released the first music.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Songs like "Smile" and "You" and all those. Like there was a couple of tracks there.
Yeah.
And well, people sang it back to us on the
crazy.
stage. So yeah, it was a good show.
Can you describe what an unlimited budget Galantis show would look like?
That's hard. That's really hard. But maybe I would put a giant aviary on stage on every show, and just
so
fill
cool.
it with birds, like from even like prehistoric birds, and you know, just open up the gates and let them all fly out.
That sounds amazing.
That'd be cool.
Like, okay, someone has to listen to this and do that with you.
Yeah.
How have you grown as a person since Galantis?
Well, I think I'm better at taking responsibility for all the details. I learned that a lot from, you know, touring with Christian and being in the studio with Christian, that even the smallest details are so important for the outcome of the music, and also the, you know, everything around it. So I think that's something that I for sure didn't have when I was just on my own. I didn't question myself as much as I do now, which is good, because it keeps you alert, you know, keeps you wanna progress, and you know, you wanna push it, keep on pushing it forward.
Yeah. What have been your biggest struggles so far?
With Galantis and touring, or just in general? I think.
Yeah, in general.
I think, you know, at times it's kind of like it's hard to just stop and look around you and see what's actually going on. You know, because it's easy to get carried away when it's just like this constant traveling, constant. It's like a noise around you. So, but I think I'm getting better at that. Just you know, press pause and look around me and enjoy it, because it's once in a lifetime, you know? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And in what ways has it been difficult, like balancing family and this? That's always about like how present you are when you're there, and what, you know, because if you pretend to be somewhere else when you're home or whatever, that's the tricky part. Yeah. Last question, what do you want Galantis to be remembered for?
Ooh. Well, I guess I'd like for Galantis to be remembered for actually trying, and you know, for trying to push the envelope, trying to push it forward, and not just presenting safe cards, both on stage and in our records. We want to keep pushing it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.